My name is Michael Floyd, Notre Dame grad, Super Bowl champion, and you're listening to my episode on For the Athlete.
You're listening to For the Athlete, a podcast aimed at humanizing the athlete by giving them a platform to control their own narrative and tell their life stories. As always, here's your host, Brooks Huber.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to For the Athlete. I'm Brooks Huber, and today I'm joined by former NFL wide receiver and now real estate agent Michael Floyd. Michael, thanks for coming on to the show. How are you doing?
Hey, Brooks, I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I love that we're doing this interview at night because I've done the past interviews at like 6 a.m. I'm on the West Coast time zone. Everybody else is on Central time or Eastern, and they always want to do it in the morning. And I have to wake up super early, so I'm glad you're able to do it at night. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, my day starts at 5 a.m., so I go out. I get out of the house quietly because my kids are still asleep. Go and get a workout in, and then, the time that I get more quiet time is when they go to bed. So it's peaceful now.
Well, hey, I apologize for cutting into that. I didn't know it's going to be such a great interview. Like I mentioned to you before, I had Brandon Zylstra on the show, Chad Greenway, both Midwest guys, and you're a Midwest guy yourself growing up in the St. Paul area. So it's great to have another Midwest guy on the show. And yeah, you grew up in St. Paul. Walk me through what it was like growing up there and then switching schools in high school to get better opportunities for college.
Yeah, I'm from the east side of St. Paul. Majority public schools, didn't know anything about private schools. Grew up in a townhome of four sisters. My mom went to Hazel Park Middle School, and then you had to make the decision on where you want to go to school. And all my friends from my middle school are talking about these two public schools in St. Paul, Como Park High School and Johnson High School, and I was closer to Johnson High School, so if I went public school, that's where I was going to go to. And my eighth grade coach on the team that I played for, from from third grade on to eighth grade, Coach Santoya, he was the sophomore coach at Crean Durham Hall, where I attended high school, and he came out to me and my best friend, Shady Solomon, and he goes, "You guys should check out." Cream Durham Hall. You guys should think about going there. And we're like, "Oh, what is that? Like, we don't even know what school that is." So it was crazy because Johnson High School was 7-0 and Cream was 7-0. They were playing one night, and I said, whoever wins this game, that's what high school we're gonna go to. And Cream blew them out, probably 50 something to 8 or something like that. And made my decision pretty easy. I attended a Catholic private school. I never thought I would be going that route, but I just know that, and I tell people to this day, the best decision of my life.
That's great. I went to a Catholic school myself in high school, so that's good seeing those ties. I read an article, and you can tell me, you can fact check it if this is true or not, but that was a way to kind of afford their high tuitions because those places have extremely high tuitions. You ended up leaving home at 5 a.m. and catching 2 city buses to help set stuff up at school. Is that true?
Yeah, so you had my job was to clean the weight room. You could pick any job you wanted to clean classrooms, stuff like that. We chose the weight room where we're at a lot of the time. So yeah, I would take bus 71 downtown St. Paul, and then get on the 74 to get out to Cretan. Took about 45 minutes to get there through the boat buses, but yeah, I got there, and that's kind of how I paid off my tuition. Also, my mom, the high school set up concession stands at pro arenas, so people who had to pay for financial aid or needed help, their parents would contribute, or the student themselves would contribute in the concession stand during a Timberwolves game or a Twins game or a Vikings game to pay off their tuition.
So is that how you got your hard work ethic and even got into sports being around those teams?
Kind of, yeah. I think mainly from the way I was raised. My mom always got up early in the morning, got our whole family dressed, me and my youngest sister, and we had to take the bus everywhere. My mom still to this day doesn't have her license, so sometimes she does take the bus. I don't know why she does, but she still does. I guess it's just something that she's just been so used to for her whole life. So that is kind of where I got my hard work ethic at.
I love hearing mom's influence on people. Let's talk about you were a 5-star out of high school. You were very good there, but you're also a very good basketball player too, averaging close to 24 points per game in your senior season. Were you ever considering playing hoops?
Now the confidence level wasn't there. I was just out there kind of I was just out there kind of just doing the conditioning and playing basketball just to stay in shape for football. It's crazy. We used to go on all these. Uh, I played on an AAU basketball team. We used to go all over the country, and all these big time coaches' names are there. Mike Krzyzewski, Roy Williams, and I would always have the best game. I think a lot of the guys were just a little nervous, having them guys there. But I mean, I just knew that I wasn't going to school for basketball, so I just played, my game as best as I could. And most of the time, I had the best game.
That's awesome. So hey, the pressure wasn't on you. You were just ready to ball out. And well, hey, I'm glad you
Yeah, no,
decided to
no
play.
pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Did you get any offers for basketball, or did you just not even consider talking to any of those coaches?
No, I think if I considered at all, I think I could get some offers if I wanted to, but I think they knew my mindset was focused just mainly on football.
Thankfully, you decided to play college football because it ended up working out very well for you. You committed to Notre Dame. What stood out the most to you about Notre Dame, and what sold you on spending your next 4 years there?
Oh, well, kind of like my high school, and I knew what my high school was kind of all about. They had a history of sending kids to college, and it was a good academic high school, and that's what I wanted to be around. People, who wanted to, you know, fulfill and kind of go past high school and go to college. I would have been the first one in my family to go to college, so I wanted to be in a position, put myself in a position to make that happen. So, going to Cretan, like I said, was the best decision, gave me the best chance of going to college. And that's why I chose Notre Dame. It's very similar. Everyone there wants to be successful and wants to, you know, exceed at everything that they do. And, they always say, like, if you surround yourself with people like that, that's who you become. So that's mainly the main reason why I wanted to go there.
It's awesome hearing that you were the first in your generation to go to college, and now you're paving the way for your children to do this, to go to college too. So that's awesome to see. And let's talk about the brotherhood there that you had at Notre Dame. Some names that come to mind are Manti Te'o, Harrison Smith, Kyle Rudolph, who was your roommate in college. What was the brotherhood like there at Notre Dame with those guys who are known as great team leaders?
I think mainly because Harrison was a little bit older than me and Manti was a little bit younger than me. Uh, but Harrison was the same drive class as me. But I think the guys who I came in with, I think there's 20 to 22 of us. Since I was 17, I known them going to the All American uh, bowl game down in San Antonio. Uh, we've been friends ever since. I think I might not talk to maybe one or two of them in that whole class, maybe three. We've always been very close since we were 17 years old. So I still have a group chat of a whole bunch of guys I talk to daily about various different things. Now it's a lot about golf now that we're a little bit older. So that's where we most of our conversations come from. But our relationships still stay the same. And if I haven't talked to any of them in a while, if we, you know, see each other at a Notre Dame game, it's just like, we didn't miss a beat. And it's all love.
That's great. So after that, after you balled out at Notre Dame, you ended up becoming a first round draft pick in the 2012 draft by the Cardinals. and spent your first 4 full seasons with the team. How do you characterize your time with the organization?
Oh, well, when I got drafted, it was kind of nerve-wracking, especially being
Were you
in New
there in
York. And
attendance?
I was. And I honestly did not know where I was going to land. But I did know was going to be like, I don't know, top 20 pick. And I remember my teammate, uh, when I got down there, Larry Fitzgerald, he told me that, text me on the side while the draft is going and saying, if you're at 13, we're going to take you. So still had nerves because obviously you never know what can happen,
You never
in
know,
that
right?
instance. So it actually, became true, and the 13th pick to the Arizona Cardinals, and I had a blast on there. It was fun. I don't think it gets much better place, and that's where I picked up, the game of golf also, because either I think as a NFL player, you either play video games in your off time, or you go and play golf. So I chose, to be outdoors in the 110-degree heat in Arizona
Hmm.
and play some golf. So,
Well, yeah, see, that was my next question. Is I read that you picked up your golf game sharing tee times with Larry Fitzgerald and Carson Palmer. What was it like golfing with them? And out of you three, who's the best golfer?
oh man, I would say Carson. Uh, I've only been playing for 7 years, but probably some of the top two best older guys, teammates that I've been around. Just good friends, good teammates, and just guys that you can see yourself being around with all the time. And like I said earlier, like the two guys where I can text them anytime, and it's like a moment was never gone, and we can leave off where we ended. So it's always good to have friends like that.
You've been very fortunate to have such a brotherhood wherever you've gone. And that leads me to my next point. After your tenure with the Cardinals, you ended up being picked up by the Patriots and won a Super Bowl in the year that you got picked up with them. How
Mhm.
special was it winning that 28-3 Super Bowl ring?
Man, it was awesome. It was God's blessing to me. I got picked up by the Patriots, and got one touchdown out of them from Tom. And it was just a great experience. It's an organization at the time where you kind of evaluate everywhere else you've been, and you wonder, and the reason why they win so much is because the atmosphere and the energy and just the level of professionalism that's there, and it's just a totally different place than anywhere else.
Yeah, I don't mean to start any beef here. So I had Glover Quinn on a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about his Matt Patricia days over there in Detroit, and he kind of had some
Hmm.
fun things to say about the Patriot dynasty, saying that it was for the most part all Brady. Would you think the same way being there for one season, or how do you characterize their success?
Man, I mean, having a guy like Tom makes the whole thing roll. I mean, just the level of expectation, professionalism, someone who not going to take the easy way out ever, and just builds everyone up. He's just a positive, energetic guy, even at the age that he was. Um, he gets the most out of everyone, and it doesn't really matter, if you went first round or undrafted. Someone who not going to take the easy way out ever, and just builds everyone up. He's just a positive, energetic guy, even at the age that he was. Um, he gets the most out of everyone, and it doesn't really matter, if you went first round or undrafted. Um, if you're good enough to play, you're gonna play, and I think if you when you get that opportunity, you got to make it shine. And it was just a great time being there, just to seeing how different it is than every other organization.
That's a fair point. Well, after your time with them, you won the Super Bowl ring. You bounce around between a bit between the Vikings, Saints, and Commanders. I want to zero in on your time with the Vikings. Being a Minnesota kid growing up and having the chance to play again with your college teammates, Harrison Smith and Kyle Rudolph, how much did it mean to you to be reunited with those guys in the state you grew up in?
Well, it's always good to be on a team where you know people. So it's you kind of feeling like you're always getting a warm welcome already. I've been knowing them guys for 15 plus years now. So being teammates of theirs was pretty good because I felt super comfortable from day one.
That's great. And then when you finish your career with the Commanders, how did you know it was time for you to hang up the cleats?
I think when it gets to that bouncing around, having to do a workout, all the time, and the body gets sore, and I met my wife in 2019, and my daughter also, Sienna, in 2019 also. It's just it's I got that feeling like I'm not gonna put my family bouncing around from state to state, having a house here, renting a house there, trying to buy a house back in Minnesota when I have a house already in Arizona. So I think it was just I felt that it was the right time to you know call it quits.
Hey, well, you're a true family man. I'm not sure everybody would be able to do that. Cough, cough, Tom Brady. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that's awesome, actually. That's all I want to touch on about your NFL career. Now let's talk about what you're doing now because you're doing some really fun stuff. You are in the real estate agency business. What attracted you to being a real estate agent?
Man, well, I used to play about 2 years ago. I quit early morning basketball with a whole bunch of guys who either played overseas or played in college. And all these guys started talking about investments and being a real estate agent, and I got interested in it. So I took the the test on what it takes to become to get your real estate license, and I did it, and now that's what I do full time. I enjoy it. It keeps me super competitive, and I never saw myself also being in a cubicle and in a corporate job like that. So being able to get up in the morning, you know, do my morning routine, and then get everything going and on what I want to do. Like I said, it keeps you super competitive, and every day is different.
Right. So you had to sell yourself in high school to the scout or to the recruiters in college and college to the NFL. How do you sell potential clients on yourself that you're the right man for the job?
Oh well, sometimes I say, my resume, basically speaks for itself. What kind of person do you want, working for you? You want someone who's hard working, who's dedicated, into what they have doing, and knowing that they're going to get the job done no matter what. So I pitch that a lot. For the most part, it works, and I think for the most part also is just forming relationships. The relationships uh, go a long way. So I usually say, if I get to meet with someone in person, that it's not too many people who's not, gonna like my personality um, and my jokes, and how I go about everything, and they know 100% that what they're gonna get out of me is just a hardworking, dedicated person, and I enjoy that, and I enjoy meeting new people all the time. And obviously, you're not gonna get everyone, you know, on board with you, and not everyone's gonna like you, but I try my best every single day to be better, and just like all the hard work that you had to put in to get into the NFL, I do the same thing every single day. When I put my mind towards something, I go after it 100%.
So you're taking everything that you learned from the gridiron and implementing it into real estate. And with that in mind, what's been the most rewarding part of the job for you?
I don't know. It's my first actual job, outside of football. But all them values that you implemented, playing football and growing up, and none of them go away. They're all still there, and that's what I use every single day. It's just something that is ingrained in me to just want to be successful in something, and this is the kind of career that I chose to want to be successful in.
That's phenomenal. So my last question for you today, this has been an amazing interview, and I appreciate you for taking time out of your night to come on the show, is what do you see for yourself 5 years from now, professionally and just in life in general?
When there's always a question when I'm talking, when you start in real estate, people talking about your business plan, and one of the questions is why? Like, what's your why? Why are you doing this? And usually my why, it doesn't really change too much. Why I want to be successful in something else, but also I want to be, that figure that you know I can be successful in something else other than football. And also to show kids also that, yeah, it's great to play in the NFL or play in any professional sport, but, you have 60 more years left to live. And what are you going to get? What are you going to put that effort that you're putting towards playing sports into something else? And that is something that I want to show, and also to my kids. Yeah, Daddy played, professional sports, made a great living, made a lot of money, but he does this, and he buys and sells homes and invests in real estate now, and he does a lot better.
So you're dominating on both ends. You dominated in the league, and now you're dominating outside the league. And I mean, you're right. A lot of people don't understand that there's so much more than just football. Your career is only so short. Not everybody can play 22 years in the league cough Tom Brady. But yeah, that's great to see.
Yeah, you just got to find something um, that you are passionate about, um, and just go for it till into it. I kind of this morning I was thinking about just the word believe, and just how much I had to believe in myself, to get to the level of playing in the NFL. And if you don't believe in yourself that you can do it, who else? No one else is. So I put the most pressure on myself each and every day to be successful and learn and educate myself, and you know and listen to the people who in this business has been successful, and just take it all in and try to get better each and every single day.
That's interesting that you bring up that quote. That was my senior year yearbook quote last year. If you don't believe in yourself, how's anybody else going to believe in you? And that's something that I live by. You always got to believe in yourself and have confidence that you can do it. And you, Michael, you have that. You have that. And whatever you do, you're confident. And that's great to see.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to talk about in your life after football?
I would just kind of say, you know, uh, go for your dreams. I don't know, who all is going to see this, but kind of like bringing it with the believing too. Whatever you have your goals and aspirations to be, you know, don't let nothing stop you from, if you really want it, you're going to make the sacrifices to do it. And sometimes, them sacrifices, it's not going to be what you want to do, but in order for you to get to the top, you have to do it. And, I think everyone, in order to be successful, has to take sacrifices.
For the Athlete's all about inspiring the next generation with these stories, with the words of wisdom. And you, sir, you've provided that today. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You have an incredible story, and come on anytime you want. And I wish you nothing but the best in the real estate game and golf too. Don't forget about golf.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Yes, yes. Don't forget about the golf game.
Well, hey, I'm Brooks Huber. Signing off till next week, thank you for listening to the Michael Floyd episode on For the Athlete.
Thanks for listening to For the Athlete. As always, be on the lookout for another athlete appearance next week. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and wherever you listen to podcasts.